In this video, I'll be sharing the basics of investing in the US stock market from Malaysia, such as how you can invest in US stocks, what you can invest in, as well as a quick step-by-step guide on how to make your first investment. So, first up, how to invest in US stocks. But before that, you will need to make sure you are at least 18 years old. Too young cannot invest yourself lah. Have a valid proof of identification. If you are Malaysian, it's your Malaysian IC, or if you are a foreigner, it will be your passport. And lastly, you will need to have a valid proof of address in Malaysia. This can be your bank statement, EPF, or any documents that show that you have a Malaysian address. Once you have that, you will need to choose a stockbroker that lets you trade the US stock market. While there are many brokers to choose from, based on my research, the best broker right now is Moomoo Malaysia, as they are charging an incredibly low fee of just 99 cents per order for the US market. This is during the first 180 days of signing up to them. And even after the promo period ends, their fee is still only 0.03% plus 99 cents per order, which is super cheap. And if you factor in their competitive foreign exchange rate, you can see that they are currently one of the cheapest brokers to invest in the US market. And here's the good news. Moomoo Malaysia has finally enabled fractional trading, where you are able to buy US stocks with as little as $5 or 0.0001 shares. This makes investing super affordable, as you can now buy a slice of Magnificent 7 stocks like Apple, Google, Amazon that usually cost $100 over US dollars. And yes, they are licensed by Securities Commission Malaysia, so you can be sure that they are legit and are well regulated. Plus, right now, they are running a promotion where you can get up to 100 ringgit worth of cash rewards, 450 ringgit worth of fractional shares, plus an extra 50 ringgit exclusive reward. When you use my link to sign up, deposit 10,000 ringgit and keep the money there for 60 days. Next, let's talk about how we can invest in the US stock market. First, we can invest in individual stocks like your Apple, Google, Tesla. But of course, in order to even pick the right stocks, you will first need to do a ton of research, such as study the company's financials, check out the competitors, buy at the right price, and so on. Luckily, Moomoo already has a lot of tools built in to simplify your research process. For example, if I open up a stock and head over to the company tab, I'll be able to see a quick overview of the latest earnings. Tapping into it, I'll be able to listen in on the conference call itself, as well as a summary of the call, analyst ratings, and a quick visual of the earnings. Then, if I head back out, Moomoo also shows me how the company makes its money, such as smartphone shipments, market share, as well as a quick breakdown of their revenue and the countries that they are earning revenue from. Below that, there's a whole bunch of useful financial data that you can check out. For example, how's the company's quarterly earnings per share? Do they have good free cash flow? And if you want to go deeper, you can also get quick breakdowns of their income statement, balance sheet, cash flows, and more. But other than this, one of my favorite features is the Moo community, where if you switch over to the comments tab, you'll be able to see what's the sentiment of the stock right now, as well as join the discussion with like-minded investors. So, if you are someone who finds researching stocks fun, then stock picking is for you. But if after seeing all this and you'll be like, wow, so 麻烦啊, then here's an easy way for you to invest in the US market. Introducing Exchange Traded Funds, or ETFs. An ETF is just a basket of securities that track an index. So think of it like the set meal from McDonald's, where you buy one set meal, you get your burger, fries, drinks, basically bao ka liao lah. For example, the S&P 500 ETF that tracks the largest 500 companies in the US. In it, you will see many familiar names such as Microsoft, Apple, Nvidia, Amazon, Coca-Cola, Walmart, Adobe, and so on. This gives you several important benefits. One, by investing in an ETF, your money will be automatically spread across all its holdings, aka diversification. For example, when you invest $100 into the S&P 500 ETF, $7 would go into investing in Microsoft, $6 into Apple, all the way to investing 1 cent in some companies that you never even heard of before. The idea is that by buying all the top companies in the US, you are betting that the entire US market would do well. You won't pick the wrong stocks if you pick all the stocks. 2. ETFs are generally self-cleansing. So what happens is that good stocks will tend to grow bigger and be added into the holdings, whereas lousy stocks will become smaller and be eventually removed from the holdings. For example, in the past, companies like IBM, AT&T, Exxon, Shell, Mobil dominated the top. But then, as time goes by, tech companies grew and eventually took their place in the top 10. And that's good, because by investing in an ETF, you will automatically be investing into more of the winners and less money into the losers. Here are some of my personal favorite ETFs, not financial advice obviously. The first one is VOO, which is the S&P 500 ETF that I was talking about earlier. Among the many S&P 500 ETFs that you can choose from, VOO has one of the lowest expense ratios, aka management fee of just 0.03%. It also has very high trading volume, so you'll be able to get a better bid-ask spread. My second favorite ETF is QQQM, which holds the largest 100 non-financial companies listed on the Nasdaq Stock Exchange. Again, you see many familiar names here. And because this ETF focuses heavily on tech, which did very well over these past few years, it was able to give a much higher return as compared to the S&P 500 ETF. However, on the flip side, it is a lot more volatile too. And when times are bad, it can crash harder too. So that's something to take note of. So those were two of my favorite ETFs. But if you are looking for more ETFs that you can invest in, you can open up the Moomoo app, head over to markets, at the top, choose ETFs, and you will see a whole bunch of ETFs available. For example, there's the most popular ETF list, thematic ETF list, top gainers, and so on. And if you tap into any of them and switch over to the Fund tab, you'll be able to see its Morningstar ratings, holdings, portfolio breakdown, such as its sectors and regions. What style of ETF is this? Does it focus on large cap growth companies, or does it focus on small cap value companies, as well as the historical dividend payout? Now, let's say you have found a stock or ETF that you want to invest in. Here's how easy to invest. But first, you need to deposit some money in lah. No money, how to invest? To do that, you can head over to accounts at the top. Make sure you are in Moomoo MY. Switch over to transfers, deposit, then choose FPX Express Deposit. Then just choose your bank. As for the deposit amounts, here's an important tip. If this is your first time depositing into Moomoo Malaysia, make sure to check their welcome promotion to find out how much you need to deposit in order to qualify for their rewards. For example, right now, in order to earn the maximum rewards, you need to deposit 10,000 ringgit and keep the money there for 60 days. Though, this 10,000 ringgit deposit doesn't have to be done all in one shot. You can deposit multiple times, but just make sure the total deposit adds up to the required amount and you do all of it by the deadline, yeah? Anyway, once you have submitted the deposit request, the money will typically arrive within a few minutes. So just wait a bit, yeah? Next, in order to buy US stocks, you will need to convert your Malaysian ringgit to US dollars. So to do that, under Accounts, Transfers, tap on the Exchange button. Make sure it says you are converting from Malaysian ringgit to USD. Then just enter in the amount that you want to exchange. Then, in order to search for your stock, you can tap on the search icon on the top right hand corner. Enter in the name of the stock that you are interested in. For example, I will just try Apple. Once you have found the stock, tap on the heart icon at the right hand side to add your stock to your watch list. This is so that you don't have to keep searching for the stock every time. Then, if I head over to my watch list, tada! I can see Apple is now in here. To buy the stock, just tap on it. Then tap on the trade button on the bottom left. If you have an existing Moomoo Singapore account, you first need to switch over to the Moomoo Malaysia account. Okay, if you are new to investing, you will find all this super confusing. But don't worry, because to make this simpler, you can just tap on the down arrow at the top right hand corner and switch over to the light mode. Much better. If you tap on order type, you will see a whole bunch of available order types for you to choose from. But you can just stick with limit order. Basically, limit order allows you to set what price you want to buy the stock at. One nice feature is that Moomoo will show you how far the stock price is from your purchase price. Next, you are able to choose whether you want to buy it in quantity of stocks or in dollar amounts. So let's try buying $5 US worth of stocks. Once you are ready, tap on buy, and if your order gets filled, congratulations! You have successfully bought your first stock. So that was a quick guide on how to invest in US stocks from Malaysia. As you can see, investing is not that scary, yeah. And if you can invest consistently, you'll be able to grow your wealth over time. Anyway, that's all for this video. Hopefully, you found this useful. Like, share and subscribe as I'll be posting new videos every Monday, Wednesday and Friday.